Hello everyone and welcome to this Division 2 video, the first regular one with the new name and logo. So, we have an interesting division here. We have DBSAS once again, so we've had it in the last video with Vampiro playing it, and I said there that it's a surprising choice because you don't see that often. It's not a super strong division, and it has some significant weaknesses. So I was all the more surprised to see a top player playing it, and I felt like I had to cover this. So I'm very excited for this game. Very curious to see what Koenig can do or cannot do with that one. But yeah, so for this month, the rule was a little bit interesting. So you had personalized bans, so every player got 10 bans that specifically applied just for him, and then you have only 2 bans per player that would be true for both players when you actually do the picks and bans. So yeah, Koenig, since everybody knows that he likes all the Western Allied divisions, got most of the good Western Allied divisions banned. For others like Hubert Finglebum, this was not necessarily the case because and they weren't that personalized often, except for the ones that Koenig suggested because he has all the data. But most people just don't really know what other people like, except for some special cases. And if these are divisions that aren't good, actually, they're not going to be banned anyway. So most people just got the good divisions banned. And I guess this is how 4th US came through. Still surprised that it wasn't banned, but I guess that's the reason why here. But anyway, let's hop in the decks and see what we can find there. Hello, Future Me here with a quick interruption. So Koenig wasn't really happy with me saying in the last video that this is not a good division, so I want to put the statement out here that we are gonna look into that now. I mean, luckily I had this video ready to go, so we can all judge for ourselves, and I will draw a conclusion towards the end. I'm not going to say what it is yet because, of course, then it might spoil what's going to go to happen. But yeah, enjoy the video. It is definitely a great game and absolutely worth watching. Have fun. And we'll be starting off with DBSAS. This is second take because I felt like after discussion with Koenig, there's some things that should be mentioned here that I didn't really point out the first time. So, recon tab, you have some light armor with the Steward and the Banara, which should be important against the light armor from 4th US. Then you have Saboteur, which are of course always nice, and the Cavalry Scouts, which is your bazooka unit. And importantly, I haven't noticed that that you can do that before I actually looked at this deck, that you can bring it in 50 cal half track, and makes this unit even more useful than it already is. So quite nice to see that there. Infantry tab. Not much more to add than I said last time, but Koenig has pointed out that it is a cost-effective infantry tab, and I do agree on that. And this is definitely a strength in its own. But the general firepower of the units is still underwhelming. Like this hasn't really changed. What I do want to point out specifically though is the SAS Scope FM, because this thing has a bad loadout. If you look at it, it's 2 brands and it's not a big one. But it is 15 points, which is fairly cheap, and it has the commander trait, which makes it better actually. And you can also rush it forward in the traction. So the whole package is actually quite strong. Like the unit itself is not super strong, but as a whole, with price and transport considered, it's actually very, very useful. And I thought this was worth mentioning. And then the Maquisard, Koenig says that they are quite cost-effective. Personally, I've still not sold on them. I do think they are relatively underwhelming. But if you have to listen to choose between whom to listen to, it's probably going to be Koenig that I should listen to. Otherwise, yeah, nothing special there. He brings the leader in C phase as well, and I criticize Vampiro for this because I think having the leader in B phase is better because then you have it earlier, and you don't need 9 of them. But I guess the thought process here was probably that you can bring it in the 50 cal half track, and it has radio, which the other ones that you can bring in B phase doesn't, and you have radio mortars. So if you consider all these kind of things, I guess it can kind of make sense to bring this one in C phase specifically, even though you don't need 9 of it. Tank tab, you have the Panzer III in B1, but only in B phase. It doesn't even bring the H39, which he can bring in A phase because it's just terrible. But these two at least should do fine against the light armor from 4th US, and then you have the Panzer IV, Jagdpanzer, and the 76 that can help against the Shermans. Support tab, nothing special there. AT tab, you have some light options which will definitely be crucial against 4th US. You have the 47 mil. You have the SAS Beard now. It's a PR team. It's not great, but it's 10 points, you can't really complain about that. And a single vet, so it's a little bit better. So I guess that's fine. You also have the captured pack 38 and pack 40, but they do not come in with a PCR, which makes them just a little bit worse than they usually are. And definitely should make a Rhinos a really big problem for Koenig. And then Hellcats, of course, yeah, we know those. AA, nothing special there. Artillery, nothing special there. You do have radio mortars, which is nice. You could bring the 105, but it's the French ones which aren't really good, so it makes sense that he doesn't even take them. Air tap, one odd choice there, rest seems very reasonable. So you have the F6C, which is really nice. It is a recon plane, and you can use it as a fighter as well, because it's basically P-51, not the greatest loadout, but it's good enough if you are chasing a plane. P-47 rocket plane, of course, going to be absolutely crucial. And then he brings the Black Widow, which is odd because by sea phase you don't really need a fighter, but it has 420 mil. So my guess is that he has planned to use this as a strafer instead, actually. Hopping over to 4th US Armored now, so this is definitely a very strong division, one of the best divisions overall currently in the game. Recon tab, we do see lots of light. I mean, we see the Bantam, which is very special. Usually you see the M8s. Now, I get the concept here, there's not that much light armor in A phase in Koenig's deck, but DBSAS still has the Panach, so he has to be a little bit careful there. But I mean, if your main concern is infantry, this is of course a better choice because it is much cheaper. It's still as fast as a DM8, and you really only need the 50 cal from the M8 if infantry is your main concern, right? Stuarts are also going to do fine, I guess. Surprised, like I would still take the M8 probably over the Stuarts because of the 50 cal, but that's just me. And then of course we only see cavalry scouts by B phase because early they're just not going to be needed. Infantry tab, strong one. He only brings one unit, which is the armored rifles in A phase in the 50 cal half track, and not more than that, which is surprising to see. But I mean, it is an expensive unit if you take your infantry and slap the 50 cal half track on top of it. So I get the concept there of taking the cheaper ones. Tank tab, a lot of light armor. I'm a little bit surprised. Would have expected to see more Shermans. But I mean, if you can sprinkle them around everywhere and all that Koenig can do is react with the AT guns, then you can easily overwhelm and sneak through with those. I guess that's the concept there. Support tab, nothing special there. M8 Scott's definitely going to be very annoying for Koenig because once again, he doesn't really have much in terms of armor in A phase, and the M8 Scott can actually brawl with the AT guns to some extent. So that's definitely nice. AT tab, all the Hellcats. It doesn't even bring an M1 gun. I'm not a huge fan of this personally. I think having some AT guns around is actually beneficial because, I mean, you can hide them in forest and such. But Hellcats are definitely, like, there's nothing wrong with them. Only having them can be a little bit difficult to work around at times, though. AA tab, nothing to add there. Artillery tab, he brings the M12 and then just some 6mm mortars. The M12, now, usually I'm not a huge fan of these, but I do have to say I do get the concept now because my way of thinking is from a balanced player point of view, where you say, okay, it comes in with little ammo, you cannot bring it with ammo, like you could bring stationary guns in some divisions, so that makes it bad. However, it is mobile, which of course helps it to survive, and he is playing Maverick, and it is a 50 minutes time limit, so if you add all this up, it does make sense to bring that, because as long as you can afford bringing ammo in the support tab, you're not going to run out of ammo on Maverick with a 50-minute time limit anyway. So you might as well bring that, and you probably have to bring ammo at some point anyway, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Air tab, pretty light, only recon and one P-47. He can bring more, but he decided not to. There's definitely more options there available. But overall, solid deck. And we are back. So, as always, let's look at the deployments first. So, down south, we do see a more aggressive push by Hubert. He tries to get into this flag with some Bantams, Steward, and I guess these are flamethrowers that are going to go here. Not only, some other units as well. So definitely interesting there. And then he deploys very lightly in the town, which is dangerous because this is where red side is usually going to push. And I think he's going to be he might face some F5 Saboteur and traction that should be quite fast. That's definitely interesting. But yeah, just goes for these two houses, I guess, with machine guns. One at least. So, pretty standard. Koenig goes very defensive, not a massive deployment there. He deploys heavily into here, which is very common. Like, this is where it usually pushes. On red side, you just don't have that many places to push, so this is very common. And then, of course, if you have this forest patch here, you can kind of exert pressure onto this patch there and this patch here, and you can block off this road. So very classical there. In the center, Koenig goes, yeah, he continues on that push, and I was right. He brings some F5 Saboteur. He also deploys heavily here because then you can kind of start pressuring this flag and really lock this down. And of course he goes defensive, but very lightly. A little bit more defensive here, and then same thing right here. So definitely interesting. Looking at Hubert Finglebum once again, so he puts just something there to block this off. Maybe it's even recon, I don't know. He tries to go for this forest patch here, not too heavily though. This is another common way push from blue. You can kind of go all the way here, and depending on what you're up against, you might actually be quite safe doing so. Just something defensive there, and then a heavy push here. Now it's very common for blue to try and grab this early on as a little harassment campaign. It's less common to actually push through because it's not super easy to reinforce. Like you need to hold this forest patch as well, because otherwise you could just put an AT gun right here, and this whole reinforcement road through here is kind of shut off. And if the opponent has 2k, you can even like put something here as well. It's definitely uncommon. Lots of armor, so I guess Koenig's gonna struggle to hold that off. I have to imagine we're gonna have to wait and see. And with that, let's start and see what magic Koenig can make happen with his division, or what magic he fails to make to happen. Because the problem is I don't know this player. I don't know how good he is, but this can't be an easy game for Koenig with this matchup. I can't imagine. He has some. He brings one Piat. He also brings AT guns. Only one there though, so that might be a struggle. Like this can. I mean, I guess actually having. Okay, so having thought about it again, if Hubert would have taken, I think his name is different in the Discord by the way, but I kind of forgot to look that up before that. But if he had brought the M8s, that would be truly terrifying for Koenig. However, now the Panar can basically kill the light armor off here as long as the Stewards are not getting involved. And that might be a little bit of an issue. I mean, this definitely faster. Panar should be able to see it any minute and kill it. Koenig's push here, showing fruits. Oh, he brought the SAS Group FM. Can you bring them? Oh, can you bring them in the Traction 2 maybe? Not sure. But yes, things here were unloaded. Bantam is suppressing nicely though, and this half-track here is going to be an issue as well. Can't be stopped by the Bantam. Smoke going down, so nice play there from Koenig. He's covering his units getting into the forest. Group FM still suppressed though, that's going to be an issue. Nice setup here with some Hotchkiss. SS Piet is ready to go there as well. 14-10 for Finglebum though. His push down south was successful. He's slowly but surely moving in. Piet here ready to go, so if he's not careful he might get a load of that. Banar can definitely kill some of these units. Should struggle against the Steward though. I mean he can pan it, but the range is going to be an issue. Looks like the Banner here fails to really kill any. No, it failed to kill anything here really, and now it's gonna get killed probably by the Stewards. Oh, old 50,000 after kills an M8 Scott, so that's already a win. Opens up on the Chasseur Para. Poor guys, they don't stand a chance. Oh, this thing needs to. Is shooting. I think Koenig manually targeted. Or no, it's just shooting at what it would usually target automatically, I guess. Problem is that the half-track here takes it down, so that's all the AT gun there. 15-9 for Hubert now. So Koenig is struggling. He brings it back to 14-10 though. His push here is going well. Oh, something killed the... I guess it was the 47mm. Killed the half-track there, or the Steward, was it? Half-track already died, it looks like. There's a 50 cal here that can still be an issue, but it looks like Koenig's going to grab this flag and brings it to 13-11. Impressive. Panar here did go down, kill off the half-track and the Bantam. Steward still alive though, this is going to be an issue. Armored rifles, LMG of course, easily overwhelm the SAS Chasseur Para. Koenig here in a nice position. We do see some mortar fire from somewhere. Oh, here. On the town, but that's not going to help getting that back. Rhino now coming in. Koenig has nothing here that can actually take this out. He needs the plane, I guess. Other than that, he doesn't really stand a chance. Flamethrower pushed forward so aggressively, so Koenig has to be careful. Piat coming in. Okay, it's just gonna be here to hold. I guess it's gonna be... I guess he wants to wait and see where the Piat's gonna be needed most. Very deep push here, very dangerous. Koenig had it on a 12-12 shortly with grabbing this flag since there's nothing here, but he's lost that one in return, so... Still not any closer to grabbing this down south back. And reinforcements are now pouring in from Hubert. He's reinforcing this, of course, and this town, because he has to, I mean, now he has to expect Koenig to just walk through. granted that Koenig can kill that Rhino, because if he can't, which doesn't look like it, see no plane coming in for it, yeah, this can just kill everything that's here. Like, there's nothing that can deal with that. The Pak 38 could if it had the APCR, but it doesn't, and it's too far back anyway. Not a Rhino coming in here. This is going to be a major issue for Koenig. Oh, now we see the plane. Oh, he has waited. That's really had some play. He's waited till he got the F6C to make sure that when he brings in the P47, he will not lose line of sight. Problem is, wow, the rocket strike didn't hit fully, and the Rhino is still alive. It's damaged though, not that damaged actually. A bit damaged though still. A second run should kill it, but the problem is now he can come in. Makisa is sneakily grabbing this flag. I mean, not really sneakily, it's just like huge salient there. But that's now gone as well. Says Coop FM does not have any AT capabilities, so the half track here is going to be an issue. There's a Piat here ready to go. So Koenig's struggling, and I mean he has the he has the aggressive income in A phase. But of course, if you lack pushing power, there's not much you can do. And this is one of these. Wow, how did that? Oh, because this from the pressure from the markers are connected with the map border and this one as well, and now it collapsed because nothing here. There's no leader here. There's nothing with radar trade. Wow. Okay. Never seen anything like that. Like, I knew that the radar trade is really nice when it comes to keeping the front line, but wow, like that's insane. That's crazy. I really saved him. And now as well, all of these units will not recover from the suppression that they build up. So that's massive. Pak 38 is here in position, but fails to adjust on target. Half-track just pushing through. Pak 38 needs to kill it, but the half-track hasn't really spotted it yet either. Now he goes down, because otherwise this could have gotten off this reinforcement road. But now reinforcements are still able to get in. And another half-track will be claimed as a victim, and the MA Scott as well, probably. Problem is, Koenig has to work himself back into it now. But a lot of this armor has been taken out, so it looks like the Piat that used to be somewhere here, potentially even is... No, maybe there was another pack, I don't know. Maybe there was also Pana, and there was definitely a leader with the Piat there as well. It looks like these have broken down the armor deck quite a bit. P47 now coming in for the Pak 38, as it also kills the Steward. Now, of course, this is going to be an issue for Koenig that it went down, because there's still a Steward here, but not going to be there for long with the 47mm involved. And I think it's a little bit of an overkill calling in a P47 to just kill that off, because it doesn't look like Hubert is going to be able to profit from that anyway. And Koenig can just call another one. Like, the push is not going to be safe by that. I think there's better targets here, like this whole blob here, this area. Makizar here, winning against the flamethrower. That might flip this flag back. So yeah, there we go. There we go. Wow. So it looks like Hubert was just way too aggressive. Like, he had a good start, and then he kind of threw it away. His army here was just picked apart. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna insert a little. Maybe we watch it back and insert that right now so that we can see what actually happened. If it was what I suspected, just units getting killed by the Piat, then I'm not gonna do it, because then you know that this is what happened. If something really like unexpected happened, I mean, other than the fact that the armor all died, I will share it with you guys. So Koenig is sitting well established in the forests, and he has the Piats, so it will do some work. And yeah, I mean, the nice thing here is Koenig has avoided, not avoided, but he has like managed to regrab essential flags relatively easily just by encircling things like this here. Now this one as well, just by winning this fight with the Makizar. So it's like, I mean, I have to imagine some of it was also just him getting a little bit lucky that Hubert made the mistake of losing in essential areas, but I have to imagine, knowing Koenig, that part of it was also well calculated, that he knows that he can just get it back, which of course is like shows an absolutely great amount of macro awareness, really. 50 cal here could easily be killed by the Makizar and Group FM. It's not moving forward though currently. Armed rifles pushing. I mean, it's nice to see that the front lines are so fluid. Like, Hubert has realized that there's not actually much here that can stop him, and is now just moving in with some armored rifles. Pak 38 is getting in position. Problem is, it can't, unless it gets a side shot, should not really be able to kill the Rhino. Now we do see more recon planes around here, and the P-47 right again. Now, if this one managed to kill off the Rhino, did the Pak 38 just get a side shot? It is damaged, yeah. Should kill it. Down it goes. The half-track's still going to be an issue, but that brings Koenig another flag, and it's currently 15-9 for Koenig. With him grabbing this flag, there's not an encirclement going. Okay, these radar units. Wow, I've never really worked with them that way, so I've never really realized how strong that pressure on the front line is to do things like that. I mean, like, these things are still going to be super annoying. And losing 50 cal half tracks in your backline and bazooka units can be an absolute disaster. But Koenig knows that they're there, so as long as he can make sure that nothing gets past here or keeps track of where things are going, if they do get past, he should be fine. Chasseur-Para does not want to go there. It's not in range for its cannon bomb currently. It's going to get suppressed easily by those 50 cal half tracks. And it's probably going to go down very, very soon. Another Rhino coming in, so 2 have died. 3 have died? What killed that one? We missed that as well. How did we miss that? I know that was the Rhino. That was the Rhino. But still, it went down. So this is the last one in A phase, I think. No, we're in B now. So Hubert has now access to more units. 50 cal against Hotchkiss. I think the 50 cal should win that. So now the Maverick income has been unlocked, and this can be a major issue because while Koenig has a nice flag control right now, he's of course not in an actual position. Like, he has not really dig in well enough. Like, he still needs to fortify a little bit to fence off the attacks that are now to follow. But first, of course, Hubert has to stabilize. We do see an early commander in as well as a 25mm to cover off this central area. Oh, this might hurt. It's gonna hit the leader. It does, and the Fiat. Yikes! So there's no AT here now, which means that any half-track can just drive through. Problem is, of course, the encirclement doesn't really work if these are. So I guess that's maybe the strength, or that's probably one of the strengths, I guess, then from DBSAS, and might be one of the reasons why Koenig decided to use it, because what you usually can do with these half-tracks, you can just start encircle things, but it doesn't really work if the units that you try to encircle have the radar trait. Oh, Hotchkiss is losing out, clearly. 60mm going after this blob. It is in range of its own radio, should be at least. Why doesn't it show the... Oh no, this is not the radio one. Yeah, no, this doesn't have radio. Koenig's have radio, but not this. My bad. Still very annoying, 60mm though. 50 cal still winning easily on everything. That's it. The problem is there's no armor coming from Koenig, so that should overwhelm that relatively easily. Now we see AA coming in to cover off that Rhino, because I know that's just gonna die. There's no AA up north though, so Koenig can just now decide to go after the 105. He's bringing his own AA as well. Something died here. Is that from before or is that fresh? Not sure. Half tracks. So maybe the armored rifles got a bazooka kill here. It's possible that that would have been the what's it called? The cavalry guards then, because these come in a half track and Koenig stack. Now we do see some more armor coming in as well as some rifles late. Yeah, he's still trying to get back into this. Definitely a reasonable choice. Although I think he should have the advantage in the open. So, like, he has more 2k assets, so he probably should try more to dominate this and then carry it into here. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Like, because once again, I don't know this player. Is very possible that he has a solid game plan and is definitely better than me. So, it's I hate talking about things like that when I don't actually know the player too well. Don't need to talk about Koenig. I mean, he's definitely much better. So while I'm not sometimes surprised about his choices and would love to hear them, I'm assuming that he has a solid idea behind that, because yeah, same goes for like other players like Step Knight, Chapasa, Robert. Like these all easily beat me, so it's no question there. Sherman coming in. Yeah, I mean, can this over-penetrate 70 millimeters? Fast fire rate though, so that can always be an issue. So he might always be able to penetrate at some point. Hellcat also, like if he gets a lucky crit, he can easily take out the Sherman. The problem is Sherman can one-shot this. If I remember correctly, Hellcats, I don't use them that often because I don't really play 4th Armored. I've played as well though. If I remember correctly, this actually has the health of a light tank. We do see a nice little push up north. Has been happening for a bit now with the Maquisard. I do see armed rifles BR coming in. The Chasseur Para are the only thing here with some AT capability. Problem is it's a gammon bomb, so it's not really long range. There's a Steward coming in though, so if you can find the shot on the rifles BR, then the rest of this can move in. So Koenig still pushing down south. Really nice. He also established himself here. There's no AT on any of this though, which might be an issue if this is... No, it's reinforcing this. It's not trying to cross. I mean, trying to cross right now is also really risky because of course there's AT right here and this can fail horribly. Looks like the Hellcat died. That's an issue. Koenig doesn't have all that many of those, so he has to be careful with them. So the armored rifles here were killed off. The SS, Group FM is still sitting here. Could move forward and probably overwhelm. No, not probably. Can definitely overwhelm this. Problem is the half track. Recon down south, letting Koenig know what he needs to know. I mean, he knows that the armored rifles is, so he can, if he can work well with his Steward, which I definitely can, he should be able to kill that off and then pressure the armored rifle and maybe even grab, or not maybe, and be able to grab these two flags right there. And it's going to bring it back to another 15-9. He's being pressured hard here in the town though, so he might lose that sometime soon. He is about to re-grab this flag though, and I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe if he has something right here, might be able to pressure that one. Blob of Hellcats in the center, so that might be an issue for Koenig because nothing here actually can deal with that. Ah, look, Steward engage. Oh, it's dangerous. It's in the range. No, it's almost in range. It shows that it's aiming at something, but isn't doing anything. It's just sitting. Wait, is there a slight depression? Does it have hill depression? No way. Does it? I'm not sure. That would be so bullshit if it did. Yeah, so now with all the AT being forced off, Hubert could push back in, and this is the issue that we talked about, right? The half track, nothing here that Koenig has can deal with the half track. Tank here goes down. I have to imagine it was side shot by the Pak 38 here. Really nice there. We do see the M12 now in. It's slowly moving. Okay, this is what it is. Oh, P47 didn't get a bombing strike off, but there's 3 25 mils here now, and one next to commander. P47 gonna go for a rocket strike on a 105. Fails though. Another M15 being called in now. 13-11 now for Hubert as he regrabs the flag in the town and this one down south. Koenig has equaled out though with grabbing this flag. Armored rifles BR now suppressed. Yeah, now this is a really nice push because look at that. Koenig had to invest a little bit, but it's not all that much, right? 2 F5 Maquisard, that's 40 points, and these are 25, so we're looking at 65 points plus, what's that, 30, 35? So, wait, what we set? So we're looking at 90, 100-ish points. And in addition to what was already here, look at what's being called in now to deal with that. So that's a positive trade for Koenig. All he needs to do after that is just make sure that he cannot push across with an AT gun or something like that, and it should be fine. So, like, he's forced a positive trade and managed to get a 14-10 now. So really, really nice and impressive play there by Koenig. Wow. He's played very, very well around the fact that he could just encircle things with his radar units, which I did not actually know that it worked this well. And it's now just, digging in, trying to hold. MG34 is not really what you want to have fighting against a 50 cal, especially since it's currently firing at the armored rifles and not the 50 cal. It's definitely going to lose that. M12 going after, maybe the A used to be there, but it's not anymore. I mean, I've seen Koenig moving it, so he's definitely paying attention. Hellcats have been resupplied. That's definitely nice and helpful. Oh, maybe they also killed the Sherm that used to be here. That's also very possible. Maybe it was a sideshow, I don't know. More stewards coming in. Yeah, these can easily be killed by these AT guns. Koenig is, yeah, he's putting it, yeah. So he's trying to cover this off. Oh, get spotted out by the armored rifles LMG there. That's not good. Leader got spotted and killed off by the 105. So tank is now pushing forward here. This is going to be an issue. Koenig is using the F6s as fighters, which they can definitely do. They're not great at it, but they can do that. So the steward or Koenig steward here did go down. I traded. I thought there were 3 stewards here. So yeah, get the kill on the recon plane. That's massive. I mean, it's not like Koenig wasn't using them anyway. So if you have them out, might as well use them like that. And it doesn't look like the M15 is gonna be a major issue for them. They should get out. So Koenig now just turtling up here to hold his flag for as long as he can. Hubert though moving forward a little bit. I think he tries to see if he can push something. Problem is he can close this, but since these are radio units, they're still gonna have the front line. Now he oh, okay, this is overkill now. I mean, yeah, this is actually not, because the issue is that Hubert didn't bring any real infantry here. This is an overinvestment. This was like a panic investment. He saw that his units here died and just called in stuff to be sure that he can definitely deal with it. But of course, since he saw the steward, none of this was actual infantry, and now he needs some more to deal with the infantry. This is really bad. Little Hellcat duel here. Looks like the ammo. Oh no, it was called back. Little Hellcat duel here, but it's 3 versus 2, so should not go well for Koenig. Koenig has realized and is now falling back. Pack 38 here suppressed, I know by what. It has been spotted out. Or has it? Maybe it was just the misses from the stewards that are shooting at the chasseur, but I mean, the Pack 38, if these move a little bit further, can get some shots off. Another Pack 30 is now moved. More Hellcats and 76 coming for the center and this area right here. Still 13-11 though for Koenig, as he has grabbed this one, because I mean now everything has moved down, so he can now with his units exert pressure to this flag. There's nothing here. All that Hubert needs to do is put something in this forest bit. Doesn't need to be expensive, just anything that is not recon. And he at least gets a 12-12. But he's currently busy right here. He doesn't need all of this. Because I mean, now he knows that all these units are confined to this small area. He's using the mortar. Now he just needs the infantry to move in. And he definitely doesn't need all these tanks. I mean, what he can do, the front line is telling him, he can just move in here. Like, there's nothing sitting here. But he's currently wasting that opportunity. Because if he does that, Koenig now needs to react and is forced to either divert units from here over there or actually call in reinforcements here. And this is definitely going to be an issue. We have reached sea phase though, and Koenig is holding on. Like, he was forced back hard at the start. He recovered really nicely. And now he's just been holding on to a flag lead. Now it is 12-12, but looks like the Hellcat push here was dismantled by the Pack 38. This one died, probably got killed off by the 105. 105 is not easy to pen for the 38. Yeah, it has 110mm of armor, and the Pack 38 only has 100mm of penetration. Yak Panzer 4 though should not struggle killing that off at all. Problem is the Hellcats do outrange it, and even though they will struggle to pen it, if I'm not mistaken, with the regular AP, yeah, 130mm, this has 140 if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it has 130mm of... Oh yeah, it has 145 pen, but it has 130mm of armor. But at max range though, still, the Hellcat should struggle and the Yak Panther can just clean up, but as long as these have their APCR, the Yak Panzer should be dead before he can even get a shot off. Reinforcements now coming in. Yeah, now Koenig has access to his mighty American infantry and the half tracks. Maybe he brings the leader because you can actually bring that in the 50 cal half track, and it's still not bad to have the leader around. Like, it's not that's a bad choice having a leader in C phase. Just felt like it would have been better to have one in B rather than C phase, because I know that the armored rifles you can only bring in the regular half track, not the 50 cal one. So maybe that's the reason. Not sure though. I'm sure he will be in the comments telling me. Yeah. So yeah, infantry here has been dismantled finally. Stuart's now pushing forward. This could have happened so long ago. 13-11 now for Hubert, and it's going to be 14-12 very soon, maybe even 59 if you can grab that one as well. Koenig is so yes, Hellcat's ready here, but they're not going there just yet since he hasn't noticed yet. Probably don't know. 81 mm mortar going after the 50 cal there, missing though. It's not in radio range, so 14-10 now. Koenig, yeah, I just can't get that right now. This is the issue. So Koenig, and this has to be said, this makes it even more impressive. Now it's 15-9 as we expected. Koenig is on the bad side of this map. I mean, for blue side, there are just much more places where you can push. Like you can do the push down here that we saw earlier. Usually it's not that big. Usually just try to grab and hold this for a bit because it's kind of, as we said, it's kind of hard to really reinforce. But you can definitely do it. You can push here. This can be very, very risky, but it can still work. If you go into here, you can easily pressure this flag. You can push into this here and pressure this flag. There's many places where blue can actually push. For red side, it's really only this one, and by extension that one. These are like good targets, because this one you're not going to get unless you super 2k heavy and your opponent is not. And after that one, like once you have this bit here secured as blue side, you can easily pressure this one, because there's not many places where blue can, where red can sit and exert enough pressure itself. Like this is not really good. It's not actually good cover. It's light cover. You can sit in here. The problem is you can also, like if you manage to grab this force bit, you can cut this off very easily as well. So once red loses this and this, it's going to be very, very difficult to really keep that flag. And even if like all of the other pushes have eventually been forced back, blue will still be able to continually pressure that one. Like even if it's like sort of a stalemate usually. Yeah, that just makes it. Now we see the Black Widows coming in, so it looks like they're gonna go for strafing runs. One Stuart must have died, I guess, to a rocket strike, because there's the big craters here, or maybe even bombing run. I don't know. I mean, the P-47 that you get should have a big bomb loadout. Stuart, a recon coming, should be able to kill that off. Don't know if they have done much so far. Not gonna lie. Still 15-9 for Hubert though. And I mean, this is very common to see. Oh, another half track goes down here. So this is common to see for Maverick. Usually, like, people are like, you know, when you're new to play, you tend to think like, oh, so as soon as they get their massive income, this is where Maverick should really immediately have the advantage on the map. Like, no, that's not what's gonna happen, because there have been some trade happening. Maybe you need to first trade up again or things like that or whatever, but you need to build up your forces first, right? The first minute where you buy stuff, it has to get to the front line first before it actually can have an effect. And then it's only, I mean, in this case it's not, but if it's against balance, for example, it's only 40 points more. And 40 points more don't really matter all that much just yet, right? So it's gonna take a while till the advantage really stacks up, and then, oh, bombing run on the Pak 38. Takes a while, as I said, it takes a while till the advantage really stacks up. Then you need to, you know, the game goes, you need to trade. It slowly starts to add up and add up and add up, and things still have to get to the front line. And then at some point comes the point where Maverick really breaks balance, or any other income, like here, for example, for victory. Now we just see a nice little push here by Koenig. The Hellcat have wasted some ammo on the half tracks. Meanwhile, these Hellcats can start picking those apart. There's a Panzer III here that can easily kill the Hellcat as well, so shouldn't struggle at all. Well, if it hits, it shouldn't struggle. Let's put it at that. Panzer IV here against 76. 76 can pen it. Depending on the range, it will struggle. But yes, the Panzer IV was too close. So at this range, the 76 can definitely pen it. Down we go. One half cat less. Koenig is now retreating. He doesn't have that many of those. He has, what, 6 in total? I think. And we've seen one die here, one die here, another one die earlier, I think. So That's probably all the Hellcats he has, so it's an issue. Another AA piece down south. Koenig has re-grabbed this though with the Stewart and some Maquisard. I'm not sure what killed those. If it was, this one was a bombing run, it looks like, by the size of the explosion. Maybe the rest of the half-tracks were killed off by the Stewart, so let's be careful. Maybe Koenig might actually be able to spot the 715, not sure. Kind of push there again now because of the armed rifle. If you can see them ahead of time, it should work. Otherwise, it's going to be tricky. 13-11 now by for Koenig as he grabbed this flag. Problem is his Panther 3 just died. There's only half tracks left here. He's moving in with the American infantry though. Just definitely. Oh, now we can look at loadout. Okay, so the leader itself is not really impressive. I mean, can do some CQC against non-CQC units and probably win just because of the Willy Pete, but you don't really want it fighting. Oh, Sherman finds the leader out. Ah, that's bad. Hellcat's now moving in once again after this Hellcat blob. Focuses it really nicely. As they both sides have resupplied the Hellcats with APCR. Oh, Pack 40 was involved. One Hellcat down, I think. Yeah, one down. Haven't really paid attention if it was to the Pack 40 or to the other Hellcat here. But Koenig lost another one. That's crucial. This one here, finding the 76, misses though. Or did... Ah, no, you penned, didn't it? Doesn't look damaged though. Hellcat dies, so that's a problem. Koenig is calling another Yak Panther. So he only has 2, that was the second one. And 76. Should do fine here. There is a nice leadership bonus here from this regular Sherman there, or leader Sherman there. We do see, I love to see, artillery leader on the M12. M12 has been firing a bit, but it's currently sitting idle. And I have, like, I mean, with a bit, I mean, I've definitely seen it firing, but it hasn't been shooting that much, so I feel like there was a missed opportunity. Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you buy artillery, you have to use it, otherwise it's just a waste of point. Now, in this case, he actually gets away with sitting next to the reinforcement road because Koenig doesn't have any artillery. And I mean, Hubert has to know that because yes, there's the bad 105s, but you usually don't take them. And even if you do, Koenig certainly knows that the M12 is in his deck and probably decides not even to try with counter battery. I'm not sure. Maybe there's even what they called. Oh, never mind. He goes with the mortars. He has spotted it. He's probably realized that it hasn't been moved and decided to go for it. Love that. It's out of radio range though, so I'm not sure how far that's gonna go. Hubert paying attention, so he's moving. Koenig has regrabbed the town while he's lost that flag. There's still a massive armor blob here from Hubert though, and that's going to be an issue for Koenig. He doesn't really have that much he can deal with that. He's very short on 2K options as well. And there's 2 M15s now, so his P47 shouldn't get through that easily anymore. The 25 mils have been rerouted down south, so the center is relatively open. There's an M15 here with a leader next to it, but it's not enough. Something just died. The half-track died. The Sherman that was here died as well, it looks like. I was about to say, I don't really think this is needed here, but I mean, it can cover this off. Problem is, yeah, you can see it from the forest there. So this should enable Koenig to re-grab this. I mean, the armored rifles, it's the one with the BER, but still not a great unit. And these are commando, even though they have a Bren. I mean, yeah, I mean, have more firepower than 2 Brens. Still have more firepower than the BAR. Not by a lot, but still do. And the rest, the loadout, yeah. I mean, if you add the commander on top of it, I'm sure that this should win. Now we see, oh, wow, Koenig has been saving up. We do see an air spam of P47. I mean, this can kill them easily. 3 Hellcats go down, 4 Hellcats go down. Cargo, and the 5th Hellcat goes down. Wow, 105 and the leader steward are left. And Hubert surrenders. Wow. Nice, nice little air wave there by Koenig. I mean, this definitely showed that you can do very well with DBSAS if you know what you're doing. Like, very impressive, I have to say, really, really impressive. Was a great game to watch. I feel like we have not been disappointed by the expectations of this game. So now that we've seen this game, we can go back to our original question. Now, I just want to say that it's of course always risky to make such statements based on one single game, because that can't really capture all the facets of a division and how well it can perform. But looking at it and looking at how you can play it in general, I do think that, yeah, it is actually, or it can actually be a good division. Like solid B tier is where Koenig would put it, and I would agree. But under the condition that it's in the hand of a good player. You need a high level of skill in the game in general to be able to really play as well. If you don't have this, I do not think that this is a good division. Like for an average player, this is not a good division because it just won't work. Otherwise, yeah, it can definitely work. It's of course always map and matchup dependent, but many divisions are like that, so there's nothing really inherently bad in that. But yeah, really well played for Koenig. I mean, he has managed to stabilize this very hard push at the start very impressively. The push itself was super nice by Finglebum. I think he just went a little bit too aggressive in the end. It's something that we've seen in the last video as well, right? You have to. I mean, it really depends on what you want to achieve. Like if you just spread out and force your opponent to invest into putting defenses down really far back, this can pay off in the long run as well. You can still reinforce your positions that you just grabbed. But at the same time, if you push too deep, the push will eventually be dismantled. And depending, like if you cannot follow up with it, it can be really bad and it punishes you in the end. I think this is to some extent what we saw here. To some extent, it went really, really well, and Koenig lost some units fighting it off. But yeah, I still think that he could have turtled in a little bit earlier to make sure that Koenig really had to work to get back in. And doesn't mean that you cannot still push, but you know, you just need to reinforce your push a little bit. Or you just, like, if both sides are just constantly pushing somewhere and never really reinforcing, that works as well, I guess. But yeah, look at that. Koenig's AT guns got a lot of work done. And I mean, the 47 mil, I feel like, has the radius rate, if I'm not mistaken. And that can be super annoying. The other ones, the Pack 38s, I mean, they much better than I expected. Look at that kill 105, actually, which it should have struggled penning otherwise. The P47 here killed 3 Hellcats in 1 bombing run. I think that was the one at the end, I have to imagine. Maybe it wasn't in 1 bombing run. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Black Widow. Okay, he killed. Wow. Okay, I didn't know that they were capable of doing that. But he killed a half track. Okay, maybe I've been sleeping on this thing. Maybe I have. And then, yeah, some more nice kill by P47 in the end. Okay, on the other side, yeah, the Rhino, that was to be expected. I mean, that cleaned house in the center at the start. These bananas couldn't do anything against it. I know, do I pronounce it correctly? I've learned French in school, so pronunciation is, like, definitely not great, but it's there to some extent, I hope. But this thing, I don't know. If it doesn't sound like a French name to me, really, but I don't know. P47 actually did some work, yeah. 105, yeah, that was to be expected. Not a Rhino. Definitely did the killing. The Hellcat here, that was the one in center. I feel like that one cleaned up really nicely as well. Yeah, great game though. Was very interesting to watch trades. I haven't actually checked. Koenig out traded Hubert as well, so very, very impressive. Yeah, great game. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a nice day and see you in the next one.